Good morning. Today's topic of discussion is idle time and overtime. Idle time represents the loss of labor time. In other words, it is the time during which wages are paid to workers but no production is obtained. It is the difference between the time for which workers are paid and the time which they have actually spent on production. Causes of idle time. Idle time arises due to a number of causes. These causes can be productive causes, administrative causes, or economic causes. Productive causes. Productive causes refers to the causes connected with production, such as time taken by workers in waiting for material, waiting for instruction, power failure, machine breakdown, accident, inadequate supervision, improper production facilities. Administrative causes. These causes arises out of poor planning, delayed instruction on the work to be carried out, lack of administrative decision. This usually happens when the machine works below the normal capacity. When the workers are paid full wages, this happens because management do not want to lose the trained and skilled workers. Idle time in this case is a temporary problem and arises out of abnormal situation, which are generally not controllable. Economic causes. Economic causes refers to those causes which arise out of economic conditions, such as lack of demand for product, strike and lockout, stoppage of production due to non-availability of material, seasonal nature of industry, fire, flood, earthquake, etc. Classification of idle time. Idle time can be classified into normal and abnormal, or controllable or uncontrollable. Normal idle time. Normal idle time refers to the idle time which normally occurs and cannot be avoided by the employer. Generally, normal time arises due to the reason like setting up of machine, movement of workers from one job to another, break for lunch, and tea, reaching from the factory gate to department, minor accident, etc. Abnormal idle time. Abnormal idle time, on the other hand, arises due to reasons which are not connected with the routine work, which may be again avoidable or unavoidable. The causes of abnormal idle time are generally strike and lockout, major breakdown of machinery, accident, defective planning, underutilization of productive capacity, cutting down of production due to depression, bad planning by the management, fall in demand, etc. Controllable idle time. Controllable idle time refers to the idle time which can be controlled by the management. They are generally the idle time arising out of productive causes, like waiting for instruction, waiting for materials or tools or work, power failure due to internal reason, minor breakdown of machinery, repairs and maintenance, and minor accident to workers. Uncontrollable idle time. Uncontrollable idle time refers to the idle time which cannot be controlled through the effort of management. They include setting of time, moving from one job to another, going for lunch, time lost due to stoppage of machinery, etc. Now I will discuss control of idle time costs. As we know that idle time is a time for which wages are paid but no production is obtained, which is a loss to the organization. Therefore, effort must be made to control this cost as far as possible. In order to control the idle time, following steps may be taken. First one, the production should be planned in such a way that idle time is reduced to the minimum. Second one, primary provision of tools and materials which will reduce the idle time. Third one, repairs and maintenance of plant and machinery to be taken up regularly after the working hours. Fourth one, effective supervision by the foreman over the workers to reduce the idle time. Fifth one, setting up of standard for normal idle time and implementation of strict measures within the reasonable limit. Sixth one, provision of unnecessary work instruction. Now I will discuss overtime. Organizations sometimes make use of the labor, especially during peak region, by paying additional wages. Usually, the workers are supposed to work for a given time per day over and above the normal working hours. The work done by the worker beyond the normal work is termed as overtime. In other words, overtime is work done by a worker over and above the normal working hours in a day or during a week. As per the Factories Act of 1948, if a worker works beyond 9 hours on a day or more than 48 hours in a week, there is said to be overtime done by a worker and is given wages at double the basic hourly rate for the extra time put in by the worker. Causes of overtime. There are a number of causes where a worker works overtime. Some of the causes of overtime are as follows. First one, to complete the work which was delayed due to certain reason. Second one, to make up the shortfall in production due to bad management. Third one, to complete a urgent work at the request of customer. Fourth one, to make up shortfall in production due to reasons like machinery breakdown, power failure, improper material supply, etc. Fifth one, to make up a shortfall in production caused by certain factors beyond the management control, such as earthquake, flood, strike, lockout, etc. Control of overtime. As a matter of fact, the overtime cannot be completely eliminated. It exists in most of the organization. Occasional overtime may be a healthy sign, but regular overtime work is not desirable, which should be controlled or reduced. The following steps may be taken for controlling of overtime. Number 1. Overtime should be allowed only under unavoidable circumstances. Second one, the work done during overtime hours should be compared with normal rate of output to ensure that there is no reduction in output. Third one, all overtime should be duly authorized by the works manager. Fourth one, overtime costs should be separately recorded for each department. Fifth one, total overtime premium should be regularly reported to the works manager. Sixth one, when overtime becomes a permanent feature, steps may be taken to install additional plant and machinery or introduce additional shift to cope with additional work. Now I will highlight treatment of overtime. Overtime payment comprises two elements: normal rate of wages and additional wages or overtime premium. This is over and above the normal amount of wages. The normal amount is charged to cost unit or production order on which the worker is working. The difficulty lies in treatment of overtime premium. The overtime premium is charged under different circumstances. First one, if overtime is done to complete a urgent work, such overtime premium should be treated as direct wages and charged to a particular job. Second one, if overtime is done due to fault of management, it may be included at overhead. It may be included as overhead of the concerned department. Third one, when overtime is due to seasonal nature of production or general pressure of work, it should be charged to works overhead charges and apportioned among the job. Fourth one, if the overtime is due to abnormal reasons like flood, earthquake, fire, etc., it should not be charged to cost but charged to costing, profit and loss account. Fifth one, if overtime is due to reason like power failure, interruption in supply of materials, machinery breakdown, overtime wages should be treated as general works overhead and apportioned to various jobs on an equitable basis. With this word, I conclude my speech for today. Thank you so much.